ready for the draft to jump right into it to see if BOM has some changes. But what I was saying is, like, I would love to see something a little bit more aggressive. They seem to shine in those early games. We saw it in the first game as well. They just weren't able to get those objectives. So if they can find another composition here that works for them in the early game, use that aggressive, but also get those objectives, they're going to have a winning suit here in the early game, especially for a team like UH that is very slow, very methodical, likes to wait for that late game opportunity to close down, which you're going to need to kind of pull something out. Just what's the term, balls to the wall, as it said, is just go all out to try to kind of shut them down.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys have been going hard to paint, no cap. I do want to see, okay, there we do see it finally, the Nolan ban popping out. It's been having to happen. Again, I'm not really a big fan of Nolan, but he has absolutely, undeniably been making his presence known by Ari. So BOM finally deciding to ban him in the third game. You know, it seems a little bit late, but it's here. It's happened. I'm hoping to see this. I'm hoping to see BOM now lock more in on the side of the draft and making it happen effectively, because again, they've just not been making it happen. They've been picking up the right characters but the wrong composition. You can't have one or the other.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we leave open. Last game, they left open the Matilda to ban out the Kaja. This game, they ban out the Nolan. Are you leaving open the Terizla, possibly? Who, I mean, he's been banned pretty much every single game here, I believe. He's just a menace on the XP, even despite a lot of his buffs. His lane clearing and his team initiation are just huge factors for a lot of these teams.
I do think that at this point, I would probably prefer to leave the Terizla pick open, because when you look at the capabilities of a good Terizla to dominate and control a game versus the likes of the Kaja, of the Mathilda, of the Nolan, we haven't seen enough from the Terizla to say, hey, is this going to be a negative give or take? Personally, I would just give up the Terizla pick and lock down on the characters that we know that UH has been implying to control the map.
Honestly, I just don't want him bang. I'd love to see Keontae on not a Yuzong. Yeah. something else up there to help him dominate up in that XP lane. He's been having it's been kind of on and off. It's very interesting for the same hero. He's been having kind of on and off games with you for Yuzong. That's gonna be very interesting to see where we go. There's the Terizla ban, as foretold by the prophets. Another Terizla ban. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what we go with first pick. Matilda's still up. I assume that's probably going to be their comfort pick for them.
Yeah, I do think we're going to see another Mathilda. I wouldn't blame them for picking it on the being such a good character and just being such a good S1 pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see it at all.
They're making us wait, though, Seth. Maybe a little bit of discussion with them up there. Still some great mid laners up there. I know we were kind of rushing to kind of pick up a roam pick as well for Leo, which we've been using, I think, for the last few games. Ooh.
Oh.
A Grok pick is very interesting here.
I want to see Grok on EXP. I want to see it. Well, I want to see them slot like something like a Mathilda, something that's going to give the team a little bit more utility, in slotting a damage-braced Grok, or even if it's not a damage build, but a Grok that's there to harass and deal damage. I think that would be so cool to see in this third matchup.
Very interesting picks kind of highlighting out here right now. Ooh, a show pick for Leo. He might be ready to wow us with some of that micro ability. Oh, very interesting picks. Freya is surprisingly strong, especially when it comes to kind of 1v1s. However, my only my only complaint about her is that she's surprisingly strong for people who are surprised by her. If you've played against her, if you know about her, she only really capitalizes on mistakes, on heroes that are going to get close with her. They're going to try to 1v1 with her, marksmen who don't know the range of her Valkyrie's descent. It's very easy for her to kind of capitalize on that, but it's also easy for her to get kited because she has a very short range and very slow movement.
So my fear is that they might have picked the Cho and the Freya too early, because if we see a Minzathar pick pop, all of a sudden a lot of these heroes are losing their entire capability of fighting. Cho and Freya could absolutely be canceled out completely from team interactions and team fights by the presence of a Minzathar. So if we see that, is that pretty much going to be a one and done end of BOM?
Well, right now we do. I assume that the Grok's going to be their roaming position here. Canyon, we already know where he's going to be going. We do have well, that's interesting is that we ban out the X-Borg. I guess probably going to go ahead and focus on that XP lane. Maybe make it just a little easier for Keontae Dope, but there's so many picks that do well into a Freya, or that can do well into a Freya. It's a very interesting strat here by BOM.
So I'm definitely skeptical, especially with it being Canyon showing the Irithyll, knowing that the Canyon is typically the guy who's playing on the EXP lane. Seth is UH's typical gold lane, so I'm wondering if they're just waiting to pop off a nice healthy EXP and then just swap out.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. Ixia ban again. Definitely. I mean, Zero must be a monster on Ixia. She's. It's so interesting to me because I just have not. Ixia needs, in my book, always needs like that Matilda or that Raphael or something that's going to be able to help her escape from the map. So it's very interesting to see. People so afraid of it. Cyril must be a monster on it. I'm definitely interested to see what Fish Gaming picks here, because I feel like his mage pick will help to round out this composition into something successful or something that might have some struggles.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that I definitely like a lot of the bans, honestly, from the side of UH. I definitely think that they've been doing a fantastic job in locking down the capabilities and options of Leo, while also keeping keeping Ixia off the board. You know, if that was their goal, they've done it. I definitely think that they're making a lot of well-educated bans. And although I talked about the Minzathar, Phoveus is another character that can absolutely punish every single one of those blinks. So are they locking him in? I know you talked about it earlier. Not a lot of teams have the ability to effectively lock into Phoveus, so they just kind of avoid making that pick. But right here, we're going to see it.
Yeah. This is gonna. Oh man, this is gonna hurt for BOM if they cannot get the early lockdown on Phoveus. I feel like in the laning stage, Seth is gonna have a lot of trouble against Ciante Dope. But I mean, all you need to get is that level 4. Once you get that level 4, Freya's not gonna be able to do anything without getting bombarded with those demonic forces. But this is what I was talking about from last game that I was hoping to see from BOM as a good counter to the composition here. Oh man, and then you pick up a Brody there. That's got basically the same thing, that kind of dashing backwards as well. It's going to be kind of food. You're definitely going to be very wary of the Phoveus pick as you move into that mid and late game. It's all about that early game right now. With a Mardus and a Freya, you have the recipe for a great push for the early game. So we're going to see if BOM can kind of translate that into a successful strategy on the actual battlefield.
I mean, the stacked mobility on the side of BOM is undeniable, but with the Phoveus pickup, I'm definitely leaning for a favored team composition of UH again. Now, I am thinking to myself right now, what could BOM have done to better put themselves into it? And honestly, tank Layla. Fight me.
Yeah, it's this is gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly the last game point here for UH Varsity, UHE Sports here. Possibly their game point. Bring Out Madness needs to kind of bring out that madness for this game if they have a hope of continuing here in the grand finals.
We've seen such absolutely excellent gameplay from the side of the University of Hawaii, and I hope that they continue it into it. Although I would love to see this tournament, this finals matchup extend a little bit more. I would love to see BOM, get grips on what they're doing and put themselves back in this matchup.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that kind of unfolds here right now when it comes to a lot of this pressure that they can hopefully be able to kind of put off. Already, you can see Ciante Dope. I'm waiting for these exchanges. You see a very safe game by Seth up at the top, kind of sticky, trying to get in front of this. And then Litho Wanderer. Looks like Ari's going to be able to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Phobius, right now, he's playing a little bit respectfully, but that is a terrifying character. The more items that he gets, the scarier he's going to get. It's tough.
Ooh, Ari comes in with that Phantom Execution and then able to go ahead and find the first coil kill onto Clay Teasy. My only complaint right now is when you see the entire team at the bottom map, Ciante Dope, you need to be cutting those lanes. You need to be taking advantage of this early game before Phobius gets that level 4, because you're going to lose any type of advantage you have at that top EXP lane once he gets that ultimate.
I agree 100%, especially being 5 seconds away from the first turtle spawnage.
Yeah, and that's going to be for me, usually it might be as fast as Ciante Dope might be able to get that anti-heal. Oh, Leo comes in. He's going to be able to find a way with the dragon. He doesn't have level 4 just yet, so not able to make Ari punished there just yet. Turtle is up, and nobody's actually kind of going for it just yet. And this is what has been happening through a few of the games with BOM. They're not in a position to take the turtle, and unfortunately, it allows the enemy team to kind of take advantage of that and find a gank onto one of the opposing lanes.
Yeah, I mean, both teams playing relatively conservatively. It does look like UH is trying to keep the Leo back and away from the turtle as much as possible. In fact, trying to scare the Leo off of him to lock in that first real turtle, putting the advantage in the side of UHE and trying to lock down the advantage and starting that snowball effect nice and early.
Oh, unfortunately, and here comes the Hearts Guard looking for it. Here comes the Demonic Force, Fish Gaming, and Ciante Dope looking to put on damage. Look at Seth. He might regret jumping into this with the Demonic Force as he gets taken out by Ciante. D-Guy decides he doesn't want any of this. So maybe a little bit, there's something I didn't kind of factor in is that once you use that Demonic Force, you still got to be able to defend yourself against the onslaught of damage that a Freya can output. Fish Gaming in a lot of trouble and taken out. McKee picks up the kill there with an assist from Ari.
Yeah, beautiful gameplay, beautiful combination of Angela backing up the Freya. Freya, again, one of the scariest heroes in the entire hero selection of over 100 heroes within Mobile Legends in regards to their ability to not only 1v1, but team fight, especially if the Freya is running the vengeance that we see Ciante running. He's just such an explosive character that when backed by the Angela is very capable of 1v5ing. So even with Seth's running the Phobius, if that Freya starts to snowball, it will be impossible to shut down.
Oh, good pickup there again. Fish Gaming doing some great things on this Angela right now. You can see here by the pickup here right now. I mean, Grok actually in a great position, a decent amount of gold, but man, you can see, oh, big pop up there, lands, and the Demonic Force able to find the kill onto Leo. Fish Gaming trying to punish Seth for it, gets the stun. Here comes another Demonic Force. Meanwhile, Kyle Teasy finds that those torn apart memories, but is not able to find a kill. Seth, ooh, very low, but is going to be able to get away.
Yeah, Seth definitely needs to get out of there. He does not want to sit and fight that Angela, especially with that health gap.
Very, very interesting strategy here right now. 4-2 right now, narrowly ahead is UNH, but man, these turtles, all of these objectives have been basically uncontested for UH. Right now, BOM not really focused on it right now, a little lackadaisical when it comes to some of their rotations, putting some pressure down at bottom. I don't know if they know that Zero is out here. Canyon with a little bit of pressure. Leo comes in with a jump. Down comes D-Guy looking for an opportunity. Still has that wild charge. And not going to be able to make something happen. They're going to go ahead and try to push onto this tower. Out comes the torn apart memories, but they didn't have the stacks on the enemy to do enough damage. Look how much damage that Leo is actually taking there. D guy in a little bit of trouble. Clay Teasy gets stunned before he can even think about coming in with a with his ultimate.
I'll tell you what, that Grok is such a scary character as a Brody to try to approach and try to jump on, especially when he's got friends around him, because that ability to lock out and prevent you from effectively diving away and getting out of those situations, it can be pretty terrifying.
Yeah, you see another Hearts Guard lands onto Clay Teasy trying to help him out, and he gets taken out by McKee. Meanwhile, Fish Gaming's gonna have to try to find a heavy escape here. Demonic Force slamming down on to bring out the madness, locking onto Ciante Dope, hoping that he can try to put on the damage. Leo in trouble! Demonic Force, he uses the flicker! And we're still not gonna be able to use that Demonic Force. Leo narrowly gets himself to safety.
Man, Leo barely getting
wow.
Situations. The question is, can he start making good situations for his team?
Man, Ari is kind of a menace here right now. 5K right now. 1K over the highest gold member in BOM right now. And that's just on one hero. They're 4K up right now over BOM. And I mean, you can see here already, he's building the tanky now as well. Haven't seen that too often. I almost feel like he could actually do very well with just a normal damage build on the Lance, but he decided to go with a nice, safe pickup there. D-Guy in a bad way between four members of BOM, trying to get himself away, gets immobilized, and is going to be able to find himself an escape while Ari takes the turtle. Zero in a bad way, McKee able to find a kill onto him, and down comes the Demonic Force. Clay Teasy gets smushed underneath.
Oh man. Looking at a 9-2 in favor of UHE, up almost 6,000 gold, or at the 8-minute mark, just bearing another kill in favor of Ari, who is sitting at 4-0 and 3. UHE is doing an absolutely astonishing job at locking down the map, winning their team fights, and creating pressure across all of the objectives.
Yeah, Ciante Dope stayed a little too long, might not have it in him, gets pushed back, and now getting bamboozled by four members of UH Esports right now. And man, what a great and solid game played by UH. Not even as patient as their usual games. They're going in, especially Ari right now, not as safe and methodical as he was in some of the last games. He's really comfortable on the lens, diving in past the tower, finding the kills, especially onto Fish Gaming.
And you know, I do think that you brought up a good point that UHE is, you know, they're doing exactly what you actually said last game. They were playing conservatively, but there were a few times where they could have just played a little bit more aggressive to get things moving just a little bit further. They were playing respectfully and they were playing confidently, but at one point they were just playing a little bit too respectfully and not making things happen fast.
Yeah, I think right now, especially on a third game, they're a little bit more comfortable. There's a little bit more wiggle room that they can afford to lose. And they're a little bit more confident in some of the holes that they've closed as well. Not making as many mistakes as BOM has. And right now, like, I mean, you've already got, it's the 9-minute mark, not even the 10-minute mark. And BOM is already basically turtling up in their towers. There's not much that they can do to kind of contest.
Absolutely. With a 10,000 gold lead, 11-2. They're looking at starting another team engagement, but it doesn't look like anybody's going to effectively knock anybody down except for another turret. It does look like UHE is going to start looking at moving towards the Lord. It's not an Illuminous Lord. It's not the big daddy of all lords, but a Lord nonetheless. We'll call it Stepdad, jumping in there, starting to get a nice push if they can lock it down on the map.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and start. And this has been the story of this entire game. Unfortunately for BOM, they haven't really had a great opportunity to kind of contest a lot of these objectives just yet.
Honestly, and I can't blame them because I can't see from everything that I have seen from the University of Hawaii that I would want to go against them either. They're so well put together and they work together so well, especially in contrast to some of these other teams that they're facing, who by no means are bad teams. A lot of these teams are pretty effective in what they're trying to do, but for everything that they are doing, the University of Hawaii is just doing an effective job of locking it in and making it happen.
Looks like we got a close-up view of Canyon items here. I think that was like a subtle hint from the producers, like, go ahead, focus on some items here. We can see the 8,000 gold already for Seth, for Canyon, who's been able to kind of menace her. Oh, as I say that, more demonic forces into the back line. Very low is BOM. Seth finds a kill onto Fish Gaming, and Zero gets taken out by Aro. Leo follows closely behind. Canyon able to take down the tower. This might be game over, game point for UH with a clean sweep over BOM. And this, ladies and gentlemen, are your champions.
University of Hawaii, aloha, and see you later. Let me tell you, man, they have made it happen today. They made the finals. I don't want to say look easy, but maybe just a little bit. 3-0. In and out, University of Hawaii, the winners of the first Aloha Collegiate Cup. How are you feeling?
I mean, definitely an exciting game for UH, who just basically showed the textbook picking in, not exactly picking into the meta, but showed textbook execution of a lot of their strategies here. And I mean, a very clean game played by them, just basically overwhelmed BOM.
Yeah, man, and it was tough because there was a couple different points where we thought BOM was going to have the ability to make the comeback happen that they've been so good at doing in so many of these other matches. But every time that they thought that they had something, UH was just like, no, you don't. Every time they said, we got something, they said, no, you don't.
I mean, it's just even the stats here speak of just pure dominance here. 605 for Ari on the Lance, 406 for McKee on the Valier. We were talking about a little earlier when they were kind of hesitating. They wanted the Valier. They didn't know if they wanted it. He can be kind of a menace, especially when you're talking about a lot of heroes that rely on those melee positions. Unfortunately for Ciante Do, picked up that Freya, but it did feel like UH was very well prepared for it with the Phoveus pick, with the Valier. There really wasn't enough that Freya was going to be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, the BOM had a very aggressive team that, again, you know, it was just a little bit too abrasive by nature in the beginning that did allow UHE to effectively counter them on the backside.
I mean, a great game. Hats off right now to BOM. A great journey for them, getting pushed down to the lower brackets, fighting their way back up here to the grand finals. But unfortunately, the story here is with UH Esports, who have been were pretty much completely dominant throughout this entire tournament, through whether it was the round robin and then in this tournament, didn't take a single series loss.
What I will say, though, is that how great of this is, you know, is this for all of these other teams? You know, although they didn't win over UHE, it's been such an awesome experience and such a great opportunity for them to see, these guys are here with us. These guys are showing out, and so can we, as well as we thought we were doing. Look at how good these guys are. We can be just like them. And with that being said, all of the development that these teams have been putting together to make themselves effectively work, and they have been, they still have so much more room to grow. And I think that's the beauty in it. Is it all starts in small situations like this, where where the University of Hawaii can show off their prowess within the North American scene. And I do hope to see them as Hawaii starts to establish more, gets a little away from the volcanoes and get some Wi-Fi set up. I would love to see these guys showing face in the NACT.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of talking for us. We have a very special interview for you guys, set up with the winners, the grand finalists here of the Collegiate Cup. And we have a D guy. Hi.
Hi, guys.
What's going on?
Oh, not too bad. A little stressed and tired. Didn't sleep, mainly because we've been just trying to make sure everything is well with this tournament. But yeah, we were very happy we managed to pull through today with my team.
Yeah, you guys were absolutely explosive in your ability to play. With that last game, I believe you locked in that Grok, man. What made you want to go in that direction?
Oh, we were thinking of going Gujin Franco, but we got kind of scared. So we decided to just go with a Grok Gujin, and then we saw what their picks were, and we decided, let's just go with something more, I would say, logical. And they had a lot of dive, but they had no way to get to the back line, so let's just go with something simple like Valir. We wanted to really go with the Gujin. McKee, he's really good at Gujin, but too bad we couldn't debut it today. Maybe next tournament.
I noticed that during the last game, Zeke even mentioned that you guys, it was a lot faster paced. It felt like you guys were more willing to kind of jump on the gun and try to make things happen, where the first two games were a little bit more patient, a little bit more feeling out, making sure you guys didn't make any mistakes. Did that seem like reflective from the team? Did that seem the same to you guys?
Well, to be honest, the reason why we did that was, first of all, we decided to switch roles, or two people. So Seth is actually our gold laner, and Canyon is our XP. If you guys are aware of that, but we decided, Seth also plays XP from time to time, and so we decided, hey, maybe we should swap it out a little bit, change things up. And Canyon also plays marksman. And then we heard your comment, Private, which was we are not very aggressive. We could capitalize on a lot more things. And so I thought, maybe, yeah, he is right. And we are giving BOM a lot of respect because we do think that they are a very good team and they are one of the best in Hawaii for sure. But since we heard that, we were like, oh, you know what? Let's just do it. I mean, might as well. If we lose this, it's fine. Like we have what? How many more? 2 more chances left. And so yeah, we just went for it, and it worked out. You're right, Private. Thank you, Coach. Private Dancer. Thank you. A round of applause for him. Yeah.
I love the positivity, spewing out of you. You guys were absolutely, again, explosive, to say the least, in every one of your games. Each game picking up more pace than the last. Again, you guys came in aggressive and abrasive and were able to lock in what almost looked like an easy game for you guys on that last one. Dropping out that Phoveus was just such a strong pick.
Yeah, to be honest, we had a lot of picks that we wanted to try out today, but we wanted to find the balance between, do we want to try them out or do we want to just go for the win? To be honest with you, like I said, we wanted to have a positive experience with this tournament. We didn't want to be disrespectful and do troll picks and stuff like that. If we swap roles, it needs to be logical. It needs to be something that is viable. And so, yeah, to be honest, me and my team were really against something like toxicity and trolling and stuff like that because, I think we just want to get things done. We want to win, and that's all that matters for us. So, but did I answer your question? I'm sorry, Ezekiel. It's my head's a little fuzzy today.
No,
yeah.
It's I guess the question that wanted to lead into that I didn't quite diagnose, outright was, was there anything that you guys wish that you could have done that you didn't quite get the opportunity to?
Yeah, I would have to say like Private said, we wanted to be more aggressive, right? I think that would have been something that we wanted to capitalize on, especially with their mistakes. But we are not very good at the moment. We're still trying to get better, right? Our team is new. We haven't really practiced right now. All of us are actually in Legend because we haven't been playing the game. Um, so yeah, we haven't been playing, and so we just wanted to go with, like, as Private said, textbook, right? I think it's the identity of our team. It's what works for us, and we will keep improving, right? We're still like our team is new. This is the first time our team got together. We don't play that much. I think as a whole, our entire 5 man, I think only has like 20 games total. I think because we don't play together that often. And so, if we have the opportunity to get better, we'll definitely improve more. But yeah, be more aggressive as your question. We wanted to be more aggressive. We just didn't have the chance because we were scared that we would lose and we didn't want to take the chances. So
Would you say that was probably your biggest strength? Because from looking at the stats, you guys were pretty dominant throughout this entire thing. Would you say that your biggest strength was probably just that textbook execution of all the different parts of it, whether it's keeping lanes pushed or making sure that you're rotating to top and bottom to get those objectives? Or do you think that was probably your biggest strength, or do you think there was other things that kind of helped you be as dominant as you were here?
Definitely, I think it was, and I think the reason for why we do a lot of things textbook is because we do communicate a lot very well. I'm very fortunate to have teammates that are very vocal actually and logical. They're very smart individuals. They don't do things like they're not very rash with their decisions, and if they do, it's like kind of it's from time to time, right? And so yeah, our textbook I would say is one of our biggest strengths, and our communication is one of those as well. I think especially in during draft or during the game, we call out each other if we make mistakes or if we overextend. We just tell each other, hey, don't do that, get away, that's not very safe. And we're very honest with each other as well. We call each other out if mistakes happen, but we don't take it personally. And so that kind of led to the textbook play style. We'll probably change it in the future because I do not think we have the capability to keep up with the professional teams in North America at the moment. And also, it's very difficult to do that here in Hawaii because we have ADMS here. We were playing an ADMS today, actually. And, but yeah.
So I've got two questions. The one is a little bit trickier than the other.
Go ahead.
But first question, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling after that finals game? You're finally done. You can finally breathe a little bit. How are you feeling?
I honestly feel more excited about the event as a whole. Like I said, I'm one of the organizers for this event, right? And we worked tirelessly for about 2 months to make sure that this event is a success, right? It wasn't what our vision was, and unfortunately, we had to do some cancellations, especially yesterday. And we are very sorry and we are very apologetic about what happened for the people who were looking forward to that. But right now, I'm more excited about the event being a success, and I'm very happy that Ezekiel and Private Dancer are both here to actually cast. And I think that made the whole entire event more exciting, in my opinion, because we were watching our games or the BOM and AI earlier, and I'm like, wow, this is more exciting like than having. I wouldn't want to say that, but it's a lot more exciting than having like student casters that are being forced to do casting, right? But Ryan did do a great job, though. Shout out to Ryan, man. Ryan, maybe you guys should train him. I'm kidding. I don't know if he wants to. But yeah, like
Wasn't sure where he was going with that.
oh,
My follow-up question to that is actually, with this one being done, is there anything you guys are looking at doing like tournament-wise soon? Are you guys looking into, getting into a couple more tournaments within the North American scene and trying to show presence there?
oh,
Or
definitely.
are you guys going to be looking at like refining?
Both. I would say both, right? We're gonna try to keep up with the team as long as we're in college, of course. I'm a senior, so this is my last year. Been very busy, but as long as I'm here, I'm gonna try to make sure that this team will thrive as much as I can, and I will make sure that it continues to thrive when I do leave, right? But I would say, yeah, we're planning to expand, or we're planning on joining some NABA tournaments in December, and also we're gonna join NACT again because we fell short last season, but we'll try again next season. And also, I think this is kind of a spoiler. I'm supposed to talk about this afterwards. I'll go more in detail about it later. But we are planning to do a tournament that involves Guam and other people from the Marianas League, right? That's around the Pacific area. Maybe invite some people from California. Well, no spoilers, but you know, um, we wanted to establish a more collegiate side of MLBB instead of just like NACT or NABA, because I think it adds a little bit more variety into the esports scene for Mobile Legends, and hopefully it works out at the end. So yeah, I kind of just dumped it on you, Ezekiel. I'm really
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that response.
Thank
I think seeing a little bit more of a collegiate side of the house, and structured that way would be a really cool scene to add to the MLBB scene here in NA. Private, what do you got? What's going on in your head?
Oh no, I'm just wondering if you have any. I mean, first of all, congratulations! Not just for a successful event, but for a successful series here. And if there's anything else you kind of want to get off your chest here at the end of the night.
Oh, I'm just gonna say that organizing tournaments is way harder than I thought it was gonna be. I came into this. This is the first time UH Manoa is actually hosting something like this, right? And this is the first time we incorporated mobile into our esports repertoire. I guess you'd call it that. And hopefully people enjoyed what we did. Hopefully people will continue to enjoy what we do. And hopefully people will continue to support us for everything that we put out in the future. And maybe work with more individuals, more teams, more maybe countries, maybe, hopefully. Maybe I don't wanna jump the gun, but yeah, it's a lot. It's really stressful. These past few weeks, months have been really stressful, and we're sleep deprived. But other than that, I'm really happy that it turned out like the way it turned out. I think I couldn't have asked for a better staff, better casters, and just better people involved overall. So thank you, and I'm very appreciative of everyone involved and everyone who supported us along the way. So thank you, friends and family, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you too. Well, I mean, man, it's an exciting event. It's kind of crazy that I kind of just came into this so late. I remember asking if Jerome, he was so excited to find out. He's like, bro, or was it you? It was you. Yes,
That was me. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, oh my god, private dancer. He's interested in this, and Ezekiel too, dude. I was like, when I saw Ezekiel's message, right? I got so scared because I was it was after like 2 exams. I had 2 exams, right? And then so I couldn't answer him for like 5 hours. And I was like, hopefully he's still okay with this, because I kind of answered him like really late. But he was like, oh no, he's fine. I'm like, oh dude, you guys are awesome, man. I couldn't say thanks. Like I don't know how to say thank you to you guys. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. But
I just appreciate.
And sorry, go ahead.
No. That's what I was about to say. I was like, I just appreciate the opportunity. I love doing this stuff, and this is where I got my start when it comes to like amateur tournaments, and that's how we kind of got the bigger tournaments in North America, is on the backs of a lot of amateur tournaments. So I'm always happy to kind of give back and have the opportunity to do these casts, because it's just fun. I absolutely love casting, and especially for something that's new, that you guys had so much fun, and just this great event with how professional you guys put everything together.
thank you.
And I think that's well said. For me, by no means am I private dancer. He is absolutely fantastic. He's so cool to work with. He's such a smart guy. And, I'm still on my journey. I'm still trying to get there. Recently started casting, a couple months ago, moving from the coaching side of the house to the casting side of the house. I'm still learning a lot. And, knowing that private dancer was going to be here, that that's intimidating for me too, because it's like that's a big guy to I don't want to get drowned out, and it's but it's so cool because having somebody who's established and someone who's so much more experienced is so cool, because on the casting side of the house, it's somebody that you can look up to, and you can see the pace that they're keeping, and this isn't some amateur guy who you're trying to like balance things out with. You can have somebody who can help set the pace and maintain the pace and keeps the game fun.
Yeah.
So not only is it a fun game to watch, but it's so much fun to cast, especially with somebody who's genuinely happy to be there.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, like I absolutely love this, and hopefully we can start bringing more. And I love the plan of bringing more and more collegiate games into it. But yeah, that's gonna. I mean, honestly, a great night, a great competition, and a great event all around.
So, last question for me, I guess, a
Go
real
ahead.
big question.
Mhm.
What's next? What is the next thing that you've got your eyes set on?
We'll try to do our best at the next season for NACT. That will be the last NACT I'll be playing under UH Esports because, like I said, I graduate in May. Hopefully, I graduate in May. But and also we'll do some and we'll do that big tournament with Guam and some Marianas League. We're in the talks right now, so keep on lookout for that.
All right. Well, I honestly, I will definitely be watching out for you guys in the next NACT to see how far you guys have improved, and if you can overcome that 84 MS lag that you guys get out here in Hawaii.
If we can get some sponsors, maybe we'll fly out to the mainland, or we call it mainland, but we'll fly out to California or something. We'll see.
Oh man, beautiful gameplay, beautiful day, beautiful tournament, man.
Thank you. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed what we put up in the games.
I know I sure did. I know a lot of the viewers did as well, but that's going to go ahead and close up the night for us, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all the exciting matches, but at the end of the night, there could only be one winner, UH, able to go ahead and take away that victory. Exciting night for all.